What is up, everyone? So today we are installing the BAVSound speakers on the Wagon. I'm here with Alfred and Alex, and today we're going to show you how easy it is to install the BAVSound with literally plug and play, which I'm hoping the previous owner didn't cut the speakers, but we're going to find out as soon as we remove it. So hopefully everything's intact. This job will be super easy, but if it is cut, I'll show you guys exactly how easy it is to basically wire it with the connections that they give you. So without further ado, let's get into it.
Just touching stuff.
So we have the speakers right here in front of us. We have the toolkit. We're going to show you how easy it is with just this toolkit, no other tools, to remove the front door, all the clips or the screws, remove it, expose all the speakers, swap in the new speakers, and be done. So same applies to the other side. It's extremely easy. We're going to start with the plastic pry tool. What we're going to do is get behind here first. Then you're going to hear a clip release, and we're just going to make our way through all of them. And there you go. That's how easy it is to remove that. It exposes two screws. My fault. I thought it would be more. So we got 2 screws here. We have 1, 2 here. And that is it. So we have in total 4 screws. Once we remove this, then we can take the door off and expose the speakers. Actually, I did miss 1 screw. So we have one right here. Get your plastic pry tool, get it in there, and it will expose another screw that we have to remove. Once all 5 screws are removed, this door will come right off. So they provide you with the Torx. Everything is in the kit. You will need a T20. They give you an extension where you put the T20 in, and you can start removing your screws. So we have all the screws off. Now it's as simple as just pulling on the door and up. Now, if you look back here, you put your hand right behind where the door handle is, pull it outwards, and that disconnects the door handle. Now we have our speakers. Everything is exposed, and as I can see right here, unfortunately I do not have the clips. So this is basically hot wired. It's okay though, because we do have clips for the mid-range, but the mid-base I'm gonna have to make custom little pins to go into the stock ones. I'll show you how to do that. We're probably just gonna wire it straight in like this, and then the tweeter is right here, which is, we're gonna have to remove this whole plastic cowl to get to that. And then this one I'm gonna have to use a Phillips to remove, and then we can start removing our door speakers. So if you're like me, you're gonna have to remove these wires, which is unfortunate. Make sure your battery is disconnected. I don't know if I mentioned in the beginning of this video, but definitely make sure your battery is disconnected, and continue with the removal process. So once that is off, your door is free. Then you have a few more Phillips here holding the stock speaker, which here it looks like these are not stock. These look like quartz speakers. Never heard of them before, but okay. So removing all this. Yeah, so this one is okay. It's not blown, but comparing it to the quality of the BAV, this is definitely outdated. So this speaker might be from, I don't even know, does it have a year date? Nope, but this is older. To remove the mid-range, you just start unscrewing this. And then push it right out. And there you have it. Your mid-range is out. Then we're gonna have to push it out of here and put in the new mid-range inside. Now to remove the tweeter, you have to remove this cowl. And we have the pry tool, so we go right in and start slowly removing everything. So right here, on the back here, you're gonna have 2 plastic clips that you stick the pry tool in, pop them out, and it's gonna come off nice and easy. These are the clips that are holding the side pieces. They're very tiny, a little bit of a pain in the butt, but if you use this pick tool, you can get right in between and pop them out. There you go. These 2 are out. Definitely take your time with it. So first clip is off. Use your pry tool to be very gentle. You want to roll down your windows, it definitely makes it easier. So you can see exactly what you need to do. And nice and slow. There you go. And that is off. There we have our tweeter, which is going to be very easy to get to. It's held on by 2 screws. They're T30s. I just start them. There we go. And then the second one. Which the second one you can leave in because it's held on by like a clip. And then we come here. Disconnected. And now we're ready to swap in a new tweeter. So in the kit, when you get your tweeter, it will be a lot different from this, from the stock one. So they supply you this little clip that you connect to the back of this, the back of the tweeter, and then onto this one right here. So when you do that, you have all that room to place the tweeter exactly where you want it. It even says vehicle tweeter, so you put this one on the tweeter and this one on the vehicle. That's simple. So once we have the tweeter all nice and tightened, we take out what is supplied, the tweeter harness. We plug it right in here. And then this connector will plug in right back into the car. There we go. As easy as that. Our tweeter is in. Now we can reinstall everything back in the same way we took it apart. So we're going to put the window cowl back in. Now we're going to put the speakers on the doors and put it right back. Now for this one, we're going to reuse it. So all these clips, we just have to pop them up. And the speaker will come right out. And there we go. And now we can swap with the mid-range. This is actually the OEM one, it has the BMW logo. Right off the bat, you can just see the quality is so much better on the BAV. Dang. And this is from 2000. This is from 2022. You could see how smaller it looks, but it's so much better. Like, just over time, it just shows how technology has increased and became better. Just look at that. This is so much heavier than this, but this feels like quality compared to this cardboard. So now all you do is take the new one and push it right in until it clips. It has these ridges right there on the sides, so you just find it, and it also has this little guide pin that you put it right here and push it right in. And there you guys go. We go into our bag and find the mid-range harness. So luckily this is all plug and play for me because this was not cut. But for the mid base, I'm definitely going to have to splice. But there we go, we clip it in here. And now we clip it onto the speaker. And just like that, these 2 speakers were plug and play. Unfortunately, these were cut by the previous owner, so we're going to make it work. So in my case, since the previous owner cut off the connectors, we have these terminals that luckily will plug in right into the BAVSound system. So it's still super easy. All you have to do is pick these up at a Harbor Freight near you or an AutoZone. This is about $15 to $20, I believe. But once you have this, we're going to put these on, close these shut, and then we can be able to connect these perfectly fine. Now you can just put the door back on like we took it off. So find all the clips and just pop them right in. And the final piece. And then there you guys have it. The door is fully back together. The speakers are in. Now we can start working on the back door. So for the rear door, we only have 1 speaker. It's going to be the same almost as in the front. We pop this trim off. We remove the screws under here, which are covered with these little clips. Same as on that side as in the front. Just be nice and slow. And there you go, it's right off. Now that all the screws are out, we can pull on the door like we did. Nice and easy. There we go. Same thing, you want to reach back there to disconnect your handle. And luckily, the speaker is all connected. And now this is just your window regulator. Go. So in order to remove this, get the 90-degree pick tool. I've been messing around with it, but what you do is you put in one of these, preferably on the floor because the glue around here is so hard. But when you do that, and as you can see, when you start prying it, it's gonna come right out. So keep doing that. There you go, you can really see it coming out. And go around this side, same thing. There you go. Just like that. So now using the glue that they provided, you want to take it, flip the cork, pierce it, and then you want to glue back the new speaker. So just start dabbing it. You don't need a lot, they say, just a little bit. I'm going to give it a healthy amount over here. And squeeze it, and then give it a healthy amount over here. Once it's all nice and dry, the adhesive has dried, you put it back on, and you put everything back together on the rear door the same way we took it out. So it's a lot easier to do the rear than it is the front because it's only one speaker, and all you have to do is remove it from the old bracket, put in the new speaker, and just silicone it with the adhesive that they provide. Super easy install so far for the front and rear, and now once we get into the back, it's a little bit more challenging because we have to take apart almost the whole rear. So now that we are finished with the front and rear door, the final thing to do is the two speakers in the rear. Now this is a little bit more hands-on because we have to remove the side pillars, that trim, this trim, the bottom trim, your little cover if you have any right there, and you basically have to fold down the seats to remove more covers. So there's a bunch of stuff we have to remove, but that's why we're making this video, so we can show you what you have to do to install these speakers with plug and play process. Okay, so the first thing, we remove our little shade cover. Now not everyone has this, luckily I do. Put that to the side. Now we're going to come in here. So now that all this is gone, we want to start to remove everything slowly. So first take off the cover, put this to the side, remove the battery cover. We're going to remove the battery plastics because we have to remove this pillar. Then we're going to remove this pillar, remove this cover right here, remove the side pillar on the door, and then there's another couple screws holding it right here. So once we do all that, we will expose the speaker. Now this also exposes your suspension. So if you're going to do coilovers at the same time, this is the video you want to watch to remove everything to expose your speaker and your suspension. So now that cover just comes right off. You have to be careful. These cars are very old, so these clips are very brittle. Both of these pieces on me broke. They're very brittle with age, so be careful when you're doing this. Now once you have this piece off and you disconnect the back light, to remove the side piece, we actually have to remove this piece first because it's sit on top of it and there's a 10mm nut holding this piece down. So to remove this piece, you have to remove this seat cover. All you really have to do is put your hands back here, pull forward, and up. So now that you have that piece exposed, you pop this out slowly with your pry tool. Be very careful. As I mentioned, these pieces are very brittle, but just slowly wiggle it out.
There you go, bud.
There you go. Luckily no pieces are broken. So what was holding it in are these clips right here. They're a little pain, but like I mentioned, do it slowly so you don't break anything. Now that we have this piece off, we can put it right to the side and continue with this assembly. So now what's left is us removing this plastic tab, us removing this black piece which has one screw here, one, I believe it's an E-torque here. So to get the 10mm, we have a little tool here. Once that's out, you want to remove this part. Nice and easy. There'll be one more Phillips here. Now this piece can be removed. You can put this piece to the side here. Now this silver piece comes off. And the final thing to do is undo the bottom bolts here. And this piece comes right out. Now that we've removed our cover, here are the plastic 10mm that I was talking about. You can literally probably just take them up by your hand. They're plastic, weird, but it is what it is. So you want to take all these clips off. Now we have two screws we want to remove right here. To remove this cover, you can put that to the side. This actually just pops right off. Now that we have all that off, this is free to move and be removed with ease. To remove a speaker that looks like was just thrown in here, well, that's okay. Luckily we have new speakers that are going in, so all this will be removed. Everything will be wired the same way we wired it in the front with the new tips, so we can just plug it right in. But it seems like I do not have all the screws as well. Well, that's unfortunate, but at least it's going to be a plug and play process. So whoever put the speaker in the rear, like, this is not even a mid bass. This is a JL audio, which isn't bad, but compared to the quality of the BAV, look at this. So even these are the rears. Look at that. That's like a carbon fiber weave. I wouldn't be surprised if it is carbon fiber. And comparing it to this, which is like cardboard plastic, and the size difference, like, come on. Plus, luckily, since this had these kind of tips, we can actually still reuse this, which is really good. So I'm happy about that, because this comes with connectors to make this job legit a plug and play. Luckily, this back process was exactly a plug and play. So the previous owner was kind enough to leave some clips in to plug in right into the speaker. So luckily it was easy. We didn't have to make any new connectors. So perfect. Now the rear passenger side is completely done, and we can finish off the driver's side, and we will be done with the BAV sound system install. That easy. So just like that side and the front and rear door, each side is the same. So now we're just going to remove the Phillips here, remove the side pillar, remove the trim, remove this cover that's covering the speaker, and then we will put everything back together. Unlike the passenger side, we do have one cigarette lighter right here. So what you really want to do is pull this back together and unclip it from the rear. You don't have to take it off right here, but you do have to remove this piece like we removed on the other side, this cover, and then we can pull this out. So now that we have this off, we can disconnect it right here and pull this piece forward. Seems like it's the same tiny one, so whoever replaced this definitely didn't care for sound, because this is too small to be a rear mid-bass speaker. Oops. This is definitely a mid-range. Oh, there's a bunch of gunk. But luckily we have the new and improved BAVSound we can slap on here and make this whole car sound system sound incredible. So we have everything put back together now. Same way as we took it out is the same way we put everything back together. So just in reverse, and then once everything's back together, you can connect your battery and fire up the sound system to see how it sounds.